In the late 19th century, freak shows weren't just a form of entertainment, they were a staple of American culture. At this time, there was no Netflix or social media for people to turn to for entertainment, so they flocked to the circus and sideshows to see something out of the ordinary. These shows featured people with unusual and rare physical characteristics, often called circus freaks. While this term is considered offensive by today's standards, back then, it was a common label used to describe these unique individuals who lived outside the norms of society. In this video, we'll take a deeper look into the lives of 30 such individuals whose stories are as intriguing as they are bizarre. Franchesco Frank Lentini, the three-legged man. Born in 1889 in Rossellini, Sicily, Franchesco Lentini was a remarkable figure in circus history. With 3 fully functional legs, Lentini turned what some might have seen as a disadvantage into a source of fame and fortune. His condition, the result of a conjoined twin that never completely developed, gave him a 3rd leg protruding from the side of his body. At a time when society often marginalized those who looked a bit different and bizarre, Lentini broke barriers with his confidence and talent. As a child, Lentini was introduced to the world of circuses, and he quickly became a headlining act. Known for his wit, he would often joke with audiences, saying he needed 15% more shoes than the average person. But Lentini was more than just a curiosity. He was an athlete. He could kick soccer balls with his 3rd leg and jump rope with ease, leaving spectators in awe. Despite living in a world that viewed physical differences as entertainment, Lentini thrived. He used his fame to challenge societal perceptions of disability, proving that no matter how you were born, you could live an extraordinary life in any situation. Fanny Mills, the Ohio Bigfoot Girl. Fanny Mills, born in the 1850s in Ohio, was better known as the Ohio Bigfoot Girl due to her condition, called Milroy disease, which caused extreme swelling in her legs and feet. Her feet grew to a staggering 19 inches long and 7 inches wide, making her an instant attraction in circus sideshows across the country. Despite the challenges of her painful condition, Fanny made a career out of her unique appearance. She performed in dime museums and circuses, captivating audiences with her massive feet, often presented in custom-made shoes that emphasized their size. Her act was not just about showcasing her condition, but also about engaging the audience with a blend of curiosity and compassion. Off stage, Fanny was known for her kind heart and generosity. She earned enough money from her performances to support her family, making her a beloved figure among her fellow performers. Though she passed away at a young age, Fanny's story remains one of resilience, turning what could have been a life of hardship into one of opportunity and success. Jean Libera, the double-bodied man. Among the most extraordinary figures to ever grace the sideshow circuit was Jean Libera, famously dubbed the double-bodied man. Born in 1884 in Rome, Italy, Jean's life was marked by an anomaly that set him apart: his parasitic twin, Jacques, who was attached to his chest and stomach. Jacques was not just a lifeless appendage. He had fully formed limbs, arms, hands, legs, and feet that appeared to move, sending a chill down the spines of onlookers. As Jean stepped into the spotlight of sideshows across Europe and North America, audiences were both captivated and unsettled by this rare spectacle. The sight of Jacques, seemingly alive yet entirely dependent on Jean, blurred the lines between human and something otherworldly. Promoters billed them as a medical marvel, drawing massive crowds curious to witness the uncanny phenomenon. Jean's story wasn't just about showcasing a physical anomaly. It was about the resilience of a man navigating a world that often reduced him to an oddity. Despite the challenges and scrutiny, Jean displayed remarkable strength of character, his legacy living on as a testament to human adaptability and dignity. Grace McDaniels, the mule-faced woman. Grace McDaniels, born in 1888 in Iowa, became known as the mule-faced woman due to a facial deformity caused by Sturge-Weber syndrome. Despite her unusual appearance, McDaniels was celebrated for her kindness and gentle nature. She joined the sideshow circuit in the 1930s and became a star attraction, earning substantial income to support herself and her son. While her physical appearance may have been considered a freak, those who knew her described McDaniels as anything but. She was well-spoken, kind-hearted, and loved by all who met her. And what really matters? She never let her appearance define her or hold her back from living a fulfilling life. From her story, what we can take away is that beauty truly lies in the eye of the beholder. Edouard Beaupré, the giant of Willow Bunch. Standing at an astounding 8 feet 3 inches, Edouard Beaupré was born in 1881 in Canada. Known as the Giant of Willow Bunch, Beaupré captivated audiences as a star performer in Barnum and Bailey's Circus, showcasing incredible feats of strength that left spectators in awe. Weighing 375 pounds, he was not just a giant in stature but also in presence, using his size to entertain and astound crowds across North America. Despite his fame, Beaupré's life was marked by exploitation. His enormous size made him a spectacle, often reducing his identity to that of an attraction. Tragically, he passed away at just 23 while on display at the St. Louis World's Fair in 1904. For 85 years after his death, his body was mummified and displayed publicly, a haunting reminder of the darker side of sideshow culture. In 1989, his family finally received permission to cremate him, and he was laid to rest in Willow Bunch, Saskatchewan, where his ashes now rest in front of a life-sized statue honoring his legacy. Willie Popeye Ingram, the human frog. Willie Popeye Ingram, born in the early 20th century, earned his nickname for his unique ability to pop his eyes out of their sockets on command. This extraordinary talent made him a headliner in freak shows across the United States. His eye-popping act was a fan favorite and would often leave audiences gasping in both awe and disbelief. Ingram's unusual gift was more than just a curiosity. It was a skill he perfected and turned into a career that spanned several decades. His act became so popular that he performed with major circuses and in sideshows, drawing large crowds eager to witness his jaw-dropping talent. Despite his stage name and reputation as the human frog, Willie was known to be a warm and humorous individual, beloved by his fellow performers. His story is one of making the best of a rare condition, transforming it into a source of fame and livelihood in the world of sideshows. Jojo the Dog-Faced Boy, Fedor Jeffu. Fedor Jeffu, born in 1868 in Russia, became famous as Jojo the Dog-Faced Boy due to his condition, hypertrichosis, which caused thick hair to cover his face and body. His father shared the same condition, and together they were displayed in sideshows across Europe. After his father's death, Jojo continued performing, eventually joining P.T. Barnum's circus. Audiences were both intrigued and repelled by his dog-like appearance, but Jeffu took it in stride, often barking and growling to enhance his wild man persona. Despite his physical appearance, Jojo was known for his kind and gentle nature behind the scenes. Ella Ewing, the Missouri giantess. Ella Ewing, born in 1872 in Missouri, grew to a towering height of 8 feet 4 inches, earning her the title of the Missouri Giantess. She became a popular attraction in circuses, sideshows, and museums, where people marveled at her extraordinary height. Unlike many other performers, Ewing managed her own career, traveling extensively and earning enough money to live comfortably. She used her earnings to build a custom house to accommodate her height, and she was known for her intelligence and business acumen. Ewing was a beloved figure who used her fame to live a life of dignity. Despite her towering stature, she was known for her grace and kindness, proving that being different can be a source of pride rather than shame. While Ewing may have been a freak in the eyes of society, She was truly a remarkable woman who broke barriers and lived life on her own terms. In today's world, we can all learn from Ewing to embrace our uniqueness and never let society's standards dictate our self-worth and value. Isaac W. Sprague, The Living Skeleton. Isaac Sprague, born in 1841 in Massachusetts, became known as the Living Skeleton due to a mysterious condition that caused him to lose weight rapidly, despite having a normal appetite. By the time he was in his 20s, Sprague weighed just over 40 pounds, and his skeletal appearance made him a natural fit for the sideshow world. In 1865, Sprague began performing with P.T. Barnum's famous American Museum, where he quickly became one of the star attractions. His frail figure, combined with his gentle nature, intrigued audiences, who marveled at how someone could survive with such little body mass. Despite the spectacle surrounding his condition, Isaac used his performances as an opportunity to share his personal story, giving a human face to the curiosities that filled the sideshow circuit. Sadly, Sprague's condition remained undiagnosed throughout his life, and he struggled with the health complications that came with his extreme thinness. He passed away at the age of 46, but his legacy as the living skeleton continues to captivate those fascinated by the history of circus performers. Aside from their unique talents, there are also some indescribable qualities that set these people apart, like the Cucumber Man, who was just a regular person, but with something extra that made them stand out, or the Reptile Woman with her snake-like tongue that could impress even the most hardened skeptic. Eli Bowen, the Legless Wonder. Eli Bowen, born in Ohio in 1844, was known as the Legless Wonder due to being born without legs. Despite this, Bowen lived an extraordinarily active life, developing incredible upper body strength and performing acrobatic stunts that amazed audiences. He joined several circuses and sideshows, where he was famous for walking on his hands and performing gymnastic feats. Bowen's charm and athletic ability made him one of the most beloved figures in sideshows, proving that physical limitations were no match for his spirit. Bowen's story teaches us that no matter what challenges we may face, we can still achieve greatness and inspire others with our determination and perseverance. It's not about what life throws at us, but how we choose to handle it that truly defines us as individuals. Josephine Myrtle Corbin, the Four-Legged Woman. Josephine Myrtle Corbin, born in 1868 in Tennessee, was a unique figure in the sideshow world due to her rare condition known as dipygus, which caused her to be born with two separate pelvises and 4 legs. Her smaller inner legs were non-functional, but she could move with ease on her stronger outer legs. This rare anomaly made Myrtle a sought-after performer in the late 19th century. Myrtle's parents recognized the financial opportunity her condition presented, and by the age of 13, she was touring with major sideshows and circuses, billed as the Four-Legged Woman. Despite being viewed as a curiosity, Myrtle's charm and intelligence endeared her to audiences. She would often answer questions about her condition with grace and humor, making her a beloved figure both on and off the stage. In her personal life, Myrtle married at a young age and went on to have 5 children, defying the odds and misconceptions about her ability to lead a normal life. She retired from the circus circuit in her later years, but her story remains one of inspiration for how she embraced her uniqueness and thrived in a world that often viewed her as an oddity. Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man. Joseph Merrick, born in England in 1862, was known as the Elephant Man due to the severe deformities that covered his body. Merrick's condition, believed to be a combination of Proteus syndrome and neurofibromatosis, left him ostracized by society. After years of being exhibited as a sideshow attraction, Merrick found refuge at the London hospital under the care of Dr. Frederick Trevis. His story of suffering, resilience, and eventual dignity inspired compassion from the public, and his life remains one of the most poignant tales in circus and sideshow history. Schlitzie, the Pinhead Schlitzie, born Simon Metz in 1901, became one of the most recognizable faces in the circus world due to his condition, microcephaly, which left him with a small head, limited cognitive abilities, and an endearing childlike demeanor. Schlitzie's stage name, the Pinhead, reflected the way sideshows at the time often sensationalized his appearance. Despite his uncommon and bizarre condition, Schlitzie brought joy to those around him. He performed in circuses and vaudeville shows and even starred in the cult classic film Freaks, 1932. Audiences were captivated by Schlitzie's bright costumes, his cheerful personality, and his ability to connect with people, even with limited verbal communication. For much of his life, Schlitzie was cared for by various sideshow performers and circus managers who saw him not just as a performer, but as a beloved member of the circus family. His innocence, charm, and resilience left a lasting impact, and his story remains a poignant reminder of the complexities of life as a sideshow performer. Julia Pastrana, the Ape Woman. Julia Pastrana, born in 1834 in Mexico, was a circus performer whose appearance shocked and fascinated audiences. She was born with a condition known as hypertrichosis, which caused thick hair to grow all over her body and face, giving her a simian appearance. Additionally, a condition called gingival hyperplasia caused her gums and lips to be thick and prominent, which further contributed to her nickname, the Ape Woman. Despite the way she was marketed, Julia possessed extraordinary talents. She was multilingual, could sing beautifully, and was known for her graceful dancing. Unfortunately, Julia's life was overshadowed by exploitation. She married Theodore Lent, her manager, who often referred to her as a hybrid between human and ape. Lent profited greatly from showcasing Julia across Europe, exploiting her appearance for his own gain. Julia's life came to a tragic end when she passed away due to complications from childbirth. Even after her death, her body was embalmed and continued to be exhibited for profit. Lionel the Lionfaced Man. Lionel, born Stefan Bobrowski in Poland in 1890, was a man who lived with hypertrichosis, a condition that caused thick hair to grow all over his face and body, giving him a striking resemblance to a lion. His appearance earned him the stage name, the Lion-Faced Man, and he became one of the most popular circus attractions in Europe and the United States. At just 4 years old, Lionel was sold to a German showman who saw potential in his unique look. Despite his fierce appearance, Lionel was known for his gentle and intelligent demeanor. He spoke several languages and was well educated, a stark contrast to the animalistic persona often imposed on him by circus promoters. His performances often included acrobatic feats and storytelling, which captivated audiences worldwide. Lionel's story is one of overcoming societal perceptions. Though he was marketed as a spectacle, he used his time in the circus to show the world that true beauty and charm come from within. He traveled with Barnum and Bailey Circus, among others, and became an international star before retiring to live a quiet and peaceful life. General Tom Thumb, Charles Stratton. Charles Stratton, born in 1838 in Connecticut, was one of P.T. Barnum's most famous performers. Known as General Tom Thumb, Stratton stood at only 3 feet 4 inches tall due to a condition called primordial dwarfism. He became a worldwide sensation, performing for royalty and touring across the globe. Stratton's charm, wit, and talent as an entertainer made him a household name, and he amassed a fortune during his career. His marriage to fellow little person Lavinia Warren was a media sensation, and their wedding was one of the most talked about events of the 19th century. Millie and Christine McCoy. The two-headed nightingale Millie and Christine McCoy, born in 1851 in North Carolina, were conjoined twins who became famous as the two-headed nightingale. Born into slavery, the twins were sold to a showman who recognized their potential as sideshow performers. Connected at the lower spine, the sisters shared one body, but had two distinct heads, which fascinated audiences both in the United States and Europe. Though initially exploited, Millie and Christine gained fame not only for their physical appearance, but for their incredible singing abilities. They often performed together, harmonizing beautifully, and were celebrated for their musical talent. Their charm and poise captivated crowds, helping them rise above the status of mere curiosities. After gaining their freedom following the Civil War, the twins continued to tour, but had greater control over their careers and finances. Millie and Christine remained close throughout their lives, supporting each other both personally and professionally. Their story is one of triumph in the face of adversity. Two women who used their talents to make a mark in the world, despite being born into challenging circumstances. Jack Earl, the Texas Giant. Jack Earl, born in 1906 in Texas, grew to an extraordinary height of 8 feet 6 inches due to gigantism. Known as the Texas Giant, Earl's towering presence and deep voice made him a popular figure in the sideshow circuit. Before joining the circus, Earl worked as a film actor, and his imposing size often landed him roles in Hollywood. Despite his size, Earl was known for his gentle nature, and he spent much of his life using his fame to spread positivity. His towering figure and kind-hearted personality made him a beloved figure both in the circus and beyond. Violet and Daisy Hilton, the Siamese twins. Violet and Daisy Hilton, born in 1908 in England, were conjoined twins who became famous as the Siamese twins. The sisters were joined at the hips, sharing no major organs, and lived a remarkably full life despite their condition. Trained in music and dance from a young age, they became vaudeville stars, singing, dancing, and playing musical instruments to packed audiences. The Hilton twins were highly successful, performing in sideshows across the U.S. and even starring in the 1932 film Freaks. Their talent, charm, and grace on stage made them one of the most well-known and loved conjoined twins in history. Annie Jones, the Bearded Lady. Annie Jones, born in 1865 in Virginia, became one of the most famous bearded ladies of her time. By the age of 5, Annie had developed a full beard due to a rare condition called hypertrichosis. She was quickly signed on by P.T. Barnum, who made her a star attraction in his circus. Annie's unique appearance, coupled with her charming and polite demeanor, won her widespread fame, and she performed across the U.S. and Europe. Despite being known for her beard, Annie Jones was also celebrated for her musical talents and was a fierce advocate for the humane treatment of circus performers. From having her own wax figures to appearing in advertisements, Annie became a household name and even inspired the fictional character of Jojo the Dog-Faced Boy. Ella Harper, the Camel Girl. Ella Harper, born in 1870 in Tennessee, had a condition known as genu recurvatum, which caused her knees to bend backward. This unusual condition earned her the nickname, the Camel Girl, as she often walked on all fours. Harper was an attraction in the 1880s circus circuit, performing alongside camels in sideshows. Despite the challenges her condition posed, Harper used it to her advantage, earning a considerable income before retiring from the circus to pursue an education and a more conventional life. Her unique physicality and captivating performances made her a popular draw in her day. However, the pain, hardships, and exploitation she faced as a performer also serve as a reminder of the dark side of the freak show industry. Betty Lou Williams, the Double-Bodied Girl. Betty Lou Williams, born in 1932 in Georgia, had a rare condition known as parasitic twinning, where a second, incomplete twin was attached to her body. Betty Lou's twin consisted of 2 legs and an arm protruding from her side. Despite this, Betty Lou lived a remarkably full life, performing in circuses and sideshows from a young age. Her bright personality and resilience made her a favorite among audiences. Betty Lou was also an advocate for people with disabilities. using her fame to raise awareness about the struggles faced by individuals with physical differences. She proved that even with a rare condition, she could still lead a fulfilling life and inspire others to do the same. Betty Lou's story teaches us the importance of embracing our differences and advocating for inclusivity in society. While she may have been labeled a freak, Betty Lou was anything but, as she used her platform to spread positivity and acceptance. Cuckoo the Bird Girl, Minnie Woolsey. Minnie Woolsey, born in 1880 in Georgia, had a rare condition called Seckel syndrome, which caused her to have a small head and bird-like facial features. She was given the stage name Cuckoo the Bird Girl due to her appearance and her performances in sideshows, where she often donned a feathered costume to enhance her bird-like persona. Woolsey became a popular figure in circuses and was featured in the 1932 film Freaks. Despite her challenges, Minnie's vibrant personality and unique look made her a beloved attraction in sideshow history. Chang and Ang Bunker, the original Siamese twins. Born in 1811 in Siam, modern-day Thailand, Chang and Ang Bunker were the original Siamese twins, joined at the chest by a band of flesh. The brothers were discovered by a British merchant and soon became international sensations, performing in circuses and sideshows across Europe and America. Chang and Ang were remarkable, not just for their physical connection, but also for their ability to live full, independent lives. They married sisters, fathered 21 children, and settled in North Carolina. Their fame was so great that the term Siamese twins has been used to describe conjoined twins ever since. Edward Mordrake, the man with two faces. Edward Mordrake's story is one of the most eerie and mysterious in circus lore. Born into an aristocratic English family in the 19th century, Mordrake was said to have a second face on the back of his head. This second face could reportedly smile, frown, and whisper dark, disturbing things to Mordrake at night, a torment that eventually drove him to madness. According to legend, Mordrake begged doctors to remove the second face, claiming it spoke of things only heard in hell. Unfortunately, no doctor was willing to take the risk, and Mordrake's mental health deteriorated until he reportedly took his own life at a young age. While much of Mordrake's story has been exaggerated or mythologized, the tale of the man with two faces remains a haunting reminder of the blend of fact and fiction that often characterize the lives of circus performers. His story continues to capture the imagination of those fascinated by the strange and unusual. Prince Randan, the human caterpillar. Born in 1871 in British Guiana, Prince Randan, often referred to as the human caterpillar or the snake man, was a performer who had no arms or legs due to tetra amelia syndrome. Despite this, Randan lived an extraordinary life, showcasing his super incredible abilities to do everyday tasks using only his mouth and shoulders. Randan's most famous act involved him lighting a cigarette, shaving, and writing, all using his mouth. His ability to manipulate objects with such precision astonished audiences and made him one of the top attractions in P.T. Barnum's circus. Wearing a one-piece suit, Randan would wiggle and contort his body in ways that amazed crowds, showing them that he could live a full life without the use of limbs. Outside of his performances, Randan was known to be a devoted family man. He lived with his wife and children in New Jersey when not on tour, leading a quiet and fulfilled life. Randan's story is one of resilience and talent, proving that physical limitations need not define one's life. Johnny Eck, the half-boy. Johnny Eck, born in 1911 in Baltimore, Maryland, was born with a rare condition that left his lower body severely underdeveloped. Despite this, Eck became known as the half-boy and was a talented sideshow performer. He could walk on his hands with remarkable speed and agility, and his acrobatic abilities made him a crowd favorite. Eck appeared in the 1932 film Freaks and toured with various circuses, where he performed stunts that amazed audiences. His charm and sense of humor made him one of the most beloved performers of his time. George and Willie Muse, the Men from Mars. George and Willie Muse were born in Roanoke, Virginia in the late 1800s with albinism, a condition that left them with pale skin, white hair, and extreme sensitivity to sunlight. The two brothers were kidnapped by sideshow promoters at a young age and forced into a life of exploitation, performing under various monikers, including the Men from Mars and the Sheep-Headed Men. Despite their rough start, George and Willie became two of the most famous circus performers of their time. They dazzled audiences not just with their striking appearance, but with their incredible musical talents. Both were accomplished musicians, often playing instruments to accompany their acts, which added depth to their performances beyond their physical traits. After years of being exploited by circus managers, the Muse brothers were eventually reunited with their mother, who fought to win back their freedom and secure better conditions for their work. Their story is a powerful testament to the bond of family and the resilience needed to reclaim their identities in a world that had sought to define them by their differences. Martin Lorello, the Human Owl. Martin Lorello, also known as the Human Owl, had the rare ability to rotate his head nearly 180 degrees, a feat that left audiences both mesmerized and unsettled. Born in Germany in 1885, Lorello's extraordinary flexibility was due to a combination of a twisted spine and years of training. He immigrated to the United States in the 1920s and soon joined the sideshow circuit, where he became a sensation. Lorello's unique talent allowed him to perform in renowned venues like Ripley's Believe It or Not and the Ringling Brothers Circus. He would thrill audiences by calmly turning his head to face backward while maintaining the rest of his body facing forward. Although his act was unusual, Lorello lived a fairly ordinary life off stage, being remembered as a kind and quiet man. His performances, however, remain legendary, earning him the nickname the Human Owl and securing his place as one of the most extraordinary sideshow attractions of his time. Grady Stiles, the Lobster Boy. The tale of Grady Stiles Jr., infamously known as Lobster Boy, is a tragic chapter in the history of circus performers, revealing the grim realities behind the allure and entertainment of the circus world. Born into a family with a long lineage of ectrodactyly, a condition that causes fingers and toes to fuse and take on a claw-like appearance, Stiles entered the spotlight early in life. His father was already part of a freak show, and Grady began performing as Lobster Boy at a young age. As an adult, he continued to entertain audiences alongside his two youngest children as the Lobster family. However, beneath the facade of the performance lay a darker side. Stiles was an abusive alcoholic who frequently assaulted his wife. In a shocking incident, he shot and killed his oldest daughter's fiancé, an 18-year-old whom Grady despised for calling him a freak. Ultimately, Stiles was convicted of third-degree murder and sentenced to house arrest, followed by 15 years of probation. So, what we see on the surface may not always reflect reality. Circus freaks, for all their unusual talents and abilities, were often victims of exploitation and harsh treatment. They gave their all to entertain audiences, but also faced immense challenges in living normal lives outside the circus world. Their stories reveal the complexities behind the glitz and glamour of the circus, reminding us to look beyond the surface and see the true humanity of these extraordinary individuals. Despite their struggles, they left a lasting impact on the world, inspiring awe and wonder for generations to come. If you found these stories intriguing, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more captivating content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.